So we have two phones here which we would be comparing. They cost roughly the same price, they also have some similarities, but also some key differences. In this video, we're going to talk about all that and hopefully help you decide which you should go for. Starting off with what you get in the box, with both phones you're thankfully getting the charging brick and cable. You're also getting phone cases with both. But with the Spark 20 Pro, you would be getting wired earphones. You don't get that with the Redmi. Although that might not be a big deal because most people nowadays have wireless earphones, it's still enough to give the Spark the win here. This is typically the most difficult category to pick a winner, because everyone has their own definition of beautiful. Tecno went with a pretty familiar look here. One thing's for sure, it's much nicer looking than the Spark 10 Pro of last year. But I think I prefer the way the Note 13 looks, especially because when you turn the phones around, the bezels are slightly smaller on the Note 13. It's a subjective category for sure, but we're going to give it to the Note 13. Both phones have the same resolution, same refresh rate, but not the same display type. The Note 13 has an AMOLED display, while the Spark 20 Pro has an LCD display. AMOLED displays typically have better image quality, more vibrant colors, and they also handle blacks better than LCD displays. So overall, they're just better. And when I put them side by side, you can see how they both handle colors differently. But what I noticed is in some shots, the Spark looked better, but in other shots, most of the other shots, the Note 13 did look better. The Note 13 is also brighter. I think it goes up to 1800 nits. They're both usable outdoors for sure, but the Note 13 is brighter. So the better display goes to the Note 13. Redmi went with the Snapdragon 685 processor, while Tecno used the Helio G99. Now, if you're wondering which chipset is better, that's easy. It's the G99. It has better CPU and GPU performance. So your everyday phone tasks like opening apps, multitasking, gaming, all of that would be better and faster on the Spark 20 Pro. It's not going to be a night and day difference, but if you're looking for the better, faster phone, it's the Spark 20 Pro. When it comes to battery efficiency, the Redmi Note 13 has a slight advantage. You understand what I mean when we get to the battery segment later. They both come with an 8GB RAM variant and also the option of doubling that with virtual RAM. But thanks to the Helio G99, the Spark 20 Pro wins this round. Both phones have a 108MP sensor as their main camera, and putting the photos from the two side by side, you would actually struggle to find a clear winner. In some shots, the Spark seems more true to life and color accurate, and in some other shots, the Note 13 looks the better. So I'll say they're pretty even. There's no clear winner. But because the Note 13 has an ultra-wide camera, although just 8MP, it might give it an advantage over the Spark. And then for the selfie cameras, the Spark has 2 times the megapixel count of the Note 13 at 32MP. But when I looked at the photos from the two, I actually preferred the Note 13 as it handled color better. The Spark looked a bit too warm, while the Redmi was a bit more balanced. For video, the Spark can shoot at 1440p 30fps, while the Note 13 is capped at 1080p 30fps. They both don't have stabilization, so I recommend using a tripod when recording video. For me though, the Spark 20 Pro looked better than the Note 13. Again, it's pretty difficult to pick a winner in this round because they both are kind of better than each other sometimes. So for this round, it's a tie. They both have 5000 mAh batteries and both support 33 watts of wired charging. So there's no difference? Well, if you still remember, earlier we said the Snapdragon 685 has slightly better battery efficiency, which basically means it should last a little longer than the Spark 20 Pro. I played FIFA Mobile on both phones for 30 minutes each, and the Note 13 lost 1% less when compared to the Spark 20 Pro. So from my test, you can game for about 7+ hours straight on the Spark 20 Pro and a little over 8 hours on the Note 13. And then when it comes to charging, they're both 33 watts, they both give you a 33 watt charger, and they both charge at about the same speed. But yeah, Redmi wins this round. The Note 13 comes in two variants. The lesser storage variant goes for 241,500, while the 256GB variant goes for 257,500 naira. The Spark, on the other hand, comes in just one variant, which is 8GB of RAM and 256GB of storage, and that goes for 243,600 naira. So that means the Spark is about 14,000 naira cheaper than the Note 13 if you're going with the same spec. That's something to note. There's also the fact that on the Note 13 we have an under-display fingerprint sensor, while on the Spark there's a side-mounted fingerprint sensor. They're also both running on Android 13, but you should get at least 2 years of software updates on the Redmi Note 13, but with the Spark you might get 1. Like I always say, you have to decide the better phone. Some people just want a phone that can play games. They do not care about anything else. The better phone for them is the one that can game better. For those people, it's the Spark. Some other people love watching movies, so the better phone to them is the one with the better display. For those people, it's the Note 13. Once you know what you care about most in a phone, whether it's battery, cameras, performance, display, software updates, once you know, then you know the better phone for you. So let me know, which phone would you pick? Drop a comment down below. But that's about it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you when you see me.